And good afternoon. I'm Tracy Sinclair. With me, of course, Rebecca Polsha. We are in the midst of election 2024. And just quickly, I had no problems this morning. We've been talking a lot about early voting,
right,
and how many people in Alaska voted early. More than 100,000 was the number that we got from the Division of Elections. I was still expecting a crowd this morning. I got to my polling place. There were cars. There were all these people walking in. There was one person in line in front of me. I walked in. I voted. Now, as I came out.
What time did you go?
I went about 10:15 because
okay.
we knew we were working the night. So
right.
I had that little time when I thought, you know, the morning people rushing to work, I'm going to miss them, and I'm going to miss the people trying to go on their lunch. So
I had the same thing. We stopped by Saturday and Sunday, and the lines were massive over on Gamble Street. So we were like, well, we'll go back. And then two of my friends, it took them 2 hours to vote. And that happened both on Saturday and Sunday. So I was a little bit concerned about today, but I'm Government Hill. There's only so many of us.
It's a small group over in Government Hill,
yeah. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to my polling place. If this doesn't work out, my backup plan is the airport, because then I was like, who else is going to go to the airport as well? That was my backup plan.
I didn't know you could vote at the airport.
Go to the airport. But I walked right in, had a lovely chat, walked right out. And again, it was about 10 o'clock, so I was looking to miss the morning rush before work.
Yeah, so far, the reports here, most of the people at the station have had that same experience, that things have been fairly calm when they've gone. Now, one of the things we want to talk about is what you can expect for tonight. If you are watching Channel 2 or Channel 5, we have no evening newscasts because, of course, national coverage is on. Let's talk a little bit about that. And this is what we're seeing so far on the national map. Again, very, very early. And what I discovered, which I did not know until today, like when they're calling these races, some of these, the number of votes are so low, but because they just know that with all the polls, they're like assured that Oklahoma is going to go toward Trump. Again, estimated vote totals in for Oklahoma, only 13.4%.
And of course, like some of the real interesting things coming, North Carolina in particular is very interesting. If you go back to that one, it's fascinating that they're already putting it as leans to Kamala Harris at this point. So North Carolina, definitely one to watch and keep an eye on, because they've been campaigning there nonstop. I think both of them there were both in Greensboro and Charlotte this past weekend.
And that is one, of course, they, like you said, they are indicating leans, but they're not calling it. And then again, we've got 3 states right now that are leaning toward Trump, but not called. So a lot going on still, and a lot of time still for all of these states in the lower 48. Of course, our polls don't close for another almost 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
So we're not going to be seeing results in Alaska. Probably, we think about 8:45.
It tends to be about that time.
Yeah, it takes. We know that they've already started to count the early votes. Those were already in, and any absentee ballots that they might have gotten already. So those are in. Then they start tabulating. We have been told they're going to stay for several hours tonight. We'll get several different dumps of information, data dumps as we call them here, and we will get those, but again, probably not until about 8:30, 8:45 tonight.
And I think we everyone really wanted to set the expectations that we might not have clear winners in a lot of things tonight, that this could be a several-day process.
Right, in particular because of ranked choice voting, as we all know, they don't actually start tabulating those until November 20th. So at a minimum, we've got 15 days before they will even tabulate. So if your candidate doesn't get 50% plus 1 vote, then they will go to ranked choice voting, and that is going to happen now on the 20th. Earlier today, though, we did get a lot of people out on the signs. This was early this morning. We had a pretty...
It's a cold-looking crowd.
Cold-looking crowd, but pretty boisterous. We had the people out for this morning, and overall, the reports that we've been getting in, we have had a few reports. There was one, looked like there was a power outage at one polling place. And so we're just kind of keeping, I didn't notice the dragon or the dinosaur or the chicken until just now. So people are at least enjoying their time out and about as they are going to the polling place. So overall, things, that's, pretty quiet. Things seem to be moving pretty well. You'll want to join us tonight at 10 o'clock. But again, here live on the digital desk. We're going to pop in probably as soon as we get results. And about 5 minutes after we get the results, we'll be able to have a ticker up that you can start seeing what's happening. And those will be the Alaska races.
Right.
And those are the ones that, while of course we're all focused on the big national race, we also want to know what's going on in our
absolutely.
neighborhood and our state legislature. We've got 50 seats up for election this cycle. All 40 seats in the House and 10 seats in the Senate. And there's a couple races that we're going to be watching pretty closely.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about those during the course of the evening as well. So a lot going on in Alaska.
Keep us updated on our website.
Stay on the website, and of course, if you are watching the national coverage as well as with your other screen in front of you, we'll be doing updates throughout the afternoon. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and happy Election Day. Hope you're having a good day.